Nityanandam, everyone. It is Wednesday already this week. So just wanted to stop in and say hello and give you just me what I've been talking to God about. Well, a lot, considering what's everything that's happening in the world. But this one is a good one because, we are all looking to materialize or manifest in our lives the things that we want. And sometimes it doesn't happen. And so that's the gist of this word. So hope everyone is having a good week so far, and staying away from the TV and the news a bit, and enjoying your life, because that's what it's all about. So this one reads, and please feel free to comment and share your ideas about anything that I say, because eventually I want it to be a dialogue, and just to help us all manifest what we want, what we desire in this life, along with God. And then that way we know that it will sustain itself and be a blessing. And because sometimes we ask for things, but we don't really know all that comes with it, and we get it and we're like, wow, I wasn't bargaining for this, but so when you include God, it just helps. It makes everything okay, no matter what happens. So anyway, y'all, this one reads, and I write them down as they come to my inner space. So it may not be grammatically correct or in the best prose, but I will explain it after I read it. So I'm just going to read it like I have it written down. It says, suffering is the difference between your order and what you actually get. If you don't get what you order, the problem could be in your ordering. And then we'll get into there are competing, conflicting, and confusing orders that we're giving to God. So it's sort of an analogy between life and when you go to a restaurant and you order food. So we go to restaurants, we place an order, and something comes back, and sometimes it comes back exactly as you ordered it. Sometimes it comes back and you it's like, oh my God, it's so good. And sometimes it comes back and it's like, this is not what I was expecting. Or it's like, ugh, this is disgusting, right? So it's kind of like that. And sometimes it is our fault because we weren't clear in what we wanted, or we didn't read the description. Well, I didn't know you were going to put the mayonnaise on the sandwich, the vegan sandwich, of course. I didn't know you were going to put the mayonnaise on the sandwich. I thought you were going to put it on the side, but you didn't specify that. Or, oh, I didn't know there was garlic in here. I can't eat garlic. You didn't read the description. You weren't clear with the waiter that you had dietary restrictions. So we tend to also, so I'll read it again. Suffering is the difference between, and then I'll read the specifics, because now that we know the correlation. Suffering is the difference between your order, that's your will, and what you actually get, that's your life as you see it. If you don't get what you order, the problem could be in your ordering, communication with God. So sometimes when we place an order through our will, or what some people call prayer, we aren't specific. So if you say, okay, well, I want to be wealthy, and God, please make me wealthy. I want to be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. I want to be wealthy. But you wake up every morning and you sleep all day, or you go to the same job and do the same thing every day, but you're not creating your own creation, meaning your own business, whether it's something that you enjoy doing, that you want it to turn into a business or whatever. But we want to be a millionaire, we want to be a millionaire, we want to be a millionaire. But you're not moving towards that. So you're giving God the prayer that I want to be a millionaire, but your actions are not in alignment, are not authentic to that which you've asked God for. So there's a conflict there, right? So, or, oh my gosh, I want a husband. 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 And typically it's, I want a husband and I want him to look like this. We usually get those two right. Like you usually are very specific that we want a husband and what we want him to look like. But we are not specific about, how we want him to be equally yoked, or how we want him to be kind and sweet, and what our needs are, because we're not even in touch with what our needs are. So then God says, okay, you place the order. She says she wants a husband and she wants him to look like this. Well, honey, you have this husband and he looks like that. But my God, he has made your life a sheer terror. Why? Many reasons. But one of the reasons is because you were not specific in your order. And that kind of leads me to, sometimes we're not even clear about our order. Because sometimes we don't either know what we want, or we don't believe that we can have all that we want, right? So he might be a man, and you want him to be tall, dark, and handsome, but he could be a horrible person. He could do many, many things. So, but in that ambiguity, sometimes lies the fact that we're not even clear of what we want. We don't know what a husband looks like, meaning what should he act like, or what do I even want him to act like? What is my highest version of that? We're not worried about that. We just want to be like, I'm married and I got this man, right? So what I'm saying is, when we talk to God, when we communicate with God, the same as when we're placing an order in a restaurant, you want to be very, very, very specific, right? And it doesn't mean that you can't be flexible, because sometimes God will show up and he'll be giving you better than what you asked for. But if you're so rigid, you won't even see that it's better. You know what I mean? Like, I want somebody 6'2". Well, what if he's 5'11"? And everything else that you had on the list, are you going to say, no, no? Maybe you do. I don't know. But don't be so rigid that you don't see that God is actually answering. And when God answers in a different way, it is 100% of the time better than what you asked for. So that was my conversation with God. And the moral of the story is, get clear. First, you have to get clear on what you want, what you desire, and don't edit your desires based upon past circumstances. Like, oh, I want this, but I don't think I'll ever get this, so I'll settle for that. No. God is like a wish-fulfilling tree. Give him your highest order. Give him your highest prayer. And then let him work out all the details. We want to pray, and then we want to also work out the details, which what I call the how. The how is not ours. Only the what is ours. He'll work it out. Just lay it at his feet, at God's feet, and he will work it out. Or as I call, as is God for me, Paramashiva, my guru, Swamiji. So you just lay it at his feet and let him work it out. The other element that is prevalent in prayer or will is timing. And somewhere along the way in this life, we have been told that timing is our timing, or timing is immediate. It's not. You have to hold on to that prayer with determination. You have to know that it's already done. And so, trust me, when something is about to happen, when God is about to fulfill a prayer, 99.999% of the time, there's going to be an obstacle put in your way. And that is when we typically say, oh, it's never going to work out. Or, oh, no, you have to say, okay, but my will is this. I prayed for this, and this is the way it's going to be. You could even talk to God and say, God, I see this, but I know I prayed for this, and so I'm going to stick with my will. I'm going to stick with my prayer, and you just hold to that. And I guarantee you 100%, maybe not in your time, but in your lifetime, it will come to pass. It has to, because that's what any will you make in completion, which includes what my guru calls will persistence, super determinism. Just hold to it no matter what. Come what may, just hold to that prayer, hold to that will, and do whatever divine action God is leading you to do, because there are times when God will do it all. There are times when you need to do what you need to do also. But listen for that. You have to listen for that message. And if something comes to you where it's confusing, you're like, oh, I don't know. What this is, ask. Be disciplined in your prayer. It's actually a science, and you will see it come to pass. So I love to hear manifestation stories. I love that, because that's what life is. And then I'll say this, is that manifestation works both ways. We always think of manifesting what you desire, but sometimes the things that we do, we're actually manifesting things that we don't want, right? So if I wake up every morning and I say, I'm sick, and that's all you say, I don't feel well, I'm sick, or the world is a horrible place, it's a horrible place, what's going to show up in front of you? Sickness, and the world is a horrible place. That's what you're going to see. But the people are like, this world is a beautiful place. I am here. I am breathing. I'm creating wealth. I'm creating good, healthy relationships, and strengthening my relationship with God and my family as well. And this is my season for prosperity. So when you wake up for that, with that, that's what your order is. That's what you're gonna see. If you watch movies that are all, or TV that is mostly violence or some kind of drama, somebody killing somebody or cheating on somebody or whatever it is, that's what's going to show up for you, because that's an input. That's what you're ordering. You know, if you listen to music that is only about violence and degrading to women and men are dogs and you know, women are gold diggers or whatever, or oh, that's no, you know, that's another conversation with God, but or whatever, then that's what you're going to get. So sometimes we see these things in our lives, you're like, oh my God, I didn't order that, but you are ordering it. You're ordering it by your actions, which is actually competing with what you're saying you want, right? So do that what you want. If you want love in your life, make all of your inputs about love, what you listen to, what you watch on TV, what you talk about. That's the other thing. Watch who you talk to and what you're talking about. Make your conversations about that what you want. And if you're with people who aren't talking about that what you want, don't talk to them. I don't know how else to say it, because your words are creation. Sound is creation. So, yeah. So make your order clear. Write your order down if you need to. Write it down so that when you read it to God, it will be clear. And don't just read it to God every day. I'm sorry. Don't just read it to God one day. Read it to Him every day, right? Just every day, and watch what you desire will come to pass in His time, in due time, in divine time. So that's all. But I would love, this is actually one of my favorite topics, and I would love to hear, you know, if you held to something and it when you least expected it, which is when it usually happens, it showed up. God made it an experience in your life. So that's it, y'all. Have an amazing Wednesday, which is what it is here. And I will talk to you guys soon. Love you, Nityananda.